Hello, my name is DC. I'll be giving a match analysis for Gambia versus Gabon. Let's get into this one. All right. So Boyce played into the box. It was taken out. It falls to. Oh, sorry. Sorry. It's here. So my bad. My bad. Sorry for that. All right. So Boyce played to him, and he has it right. It's one of those things. Yeah, you could press him, but then again, you also look at the distance to which he is, and then it's pretty far from goal. But still, you want to put some kind of pressure, not like intense pressing, but pressure that makes him, make that pass back. Because everything here is questionable, if I might add. No one is marking him. No one is marking him. And then if a ball comes from him going there, these two will probably cause a lot of problems, right? So let's play it. He gets the ball. And once again, a bit of a pressure is applied, and then, as I mentioned before, those two players, now it's just one, but he's identified the gap in between the fence and he's running towards that. And here, I don't really want to put pressure on him because if he was closer, let's say, for example, here or even here, I wouldn't have much of a problem, but he's near the halfway line. And to be honest, they're playing a sort of high line, and there should be more pressure on the ball, but still, I feel like he's just okay because it didn't like short passes going there. It was a long ball, but still, I blame this more on the defense rather than the person that's here. Because boom, you leave Aubamayeng unoccupied, and he could have either followed Aubamayeng as the cross was being played, or either taken it upon himself to mark Aubamayeng. One of the best African strikers. As the ball comes in, takes it down, boom. And that's Aubamayeng. Don't forget his signature Selly. Aubamayeng. And that's what happens. I'm not gonna blame that ball on the person that didn't put. I blame it more on the defense. If I'm going to be honest, because surely, why should a long ball like that lead to a goal? Easy, and then it's how he takes it down. This is Aubamayeng we're talking about. I mean, look at that. Yeah, he tries to. He does the wrong thing. He does the wrong thing. Better option would have been to stick with Aubamayeng, or as the ball is coming down, look to kick it away. Because at this point, I don't really think he's focusing a lot on the header. It's probably not going to reach. And look at how quick Aubamayeng sets this up for himself. Takes the ball down. In a few moments, he reads. You see that? Did you see that little movement he did as he's about to strike the ball? Let's pause it. Look at the way see that? As his foot was down, it was more of a fake shot, and then he went to strike it. Goal. You do not give Aubamayeng that time and space. You really do not. Unless you want problems. Another long ball. Look at how far this reaches. Once again, I'm not even going to blame the keeper. I'm not going to blame any. Okay, this is the back line, right? And let's assume that they were running. This is the midfield, and then everyone else is there. So you're better off everyone dropping back rather than trying to press and leaving all these open spaces. And once again, the defense should really do better. Because look at that. Just one, okay, for me personally, if it takes a long ball for your defense to consider goal, then there's something you're just not doing right. Because why? Let me look at this. Boom. And then boom. Similar. This is the almost similar, except this one that just starts from the goalkeeper rather than from halfway in the field. But long ball, defense gets exposed. Boom. Takes it into his stride. The keeper, he should be coming out for that one. He's okay. I understand that his defenders are there, yeah, but they're not there to properly affect the player because he's behind the player. So it's most likely he's going to consider foul. The goalkeeper should be running, maybe at least here to close that angle down more. But still, that is a good finish. That really is. Let's speed it up so we can see the goal. Different angle, takes it into his stride. That's a lovely goal. Okay, then so this one is not a goal, but it's a chance. All right, so you see, at least there is commitment here. There is some sort of commitment. So, let me press play. He's running, and then they track him down all the way. They do give him a bit of space, but it's also good that he runs all the way down the line, but they track him down. They make sure that that ball goes nowhere near the center. You see, that's what it's supposed to be. Yes, there are two players open, but they made sure they did not give this guy any chance to play that ball. That's very good defending. Okay, let's head on to the next goal of the match. the next goal, the next goal somewhere here, the next goal, the next goal somewhere here. Okay. And then once again, if you look at this, guess where guess what happens? Another goal from another long ball. I don't know. I The fact it's happened more than once is really concerning for both teams. Sorry for that pause. I was just sipping some water. No, the fact this has happened twice already. Look at that long ball. I mean, not disrespect, right? But this cannot keep happening. You can't just keep, kicking it long and then scoring. Like there's something wrong with the defense. And then once again, this is the defense. And then look behind him. There's no point of applying pressure wherever they're applying pressure. If you're going to be finding yourself in this exact same situation, you're better off everyone dropping. Let's assume this is the defensive line, midfield. You're better off doing that because this is getting, I don't want to say ridiculous, but it's becoming comical. Because okay, let's just play it back a little bit, right? And then if you're going to commit, okay, so you see that two attackers there. This is the midfield line, I'm assuming. So if you're going to commit all these people forward, but you're leaving this gap. All right, so you see that? Let's assume this is the midfield. Let's assume it's a 4-4-2, right? Look at this gap that's here. I mean, this is clumsy. You're better off. I mean, the gap is just way too much because all of these defenders are supposed to be pushed up by the halfway line. It's either you play high line or you just drop back because the hybrid doesn't work. It's either you're doing one of the other, and that's another good finish from Aubamayeng. Why are they leaving Aubamayeng so free? As I've said, one of the best African strikers, right? Look at that. Another simple. This is. I don't know. You might expect this from like a younger, like a youth team football, but come on. But that's a good finish from Aubamayeng. I mean, look at that as is falling outside the four. Oh, Aubamayeng. Oh, Aubamayeng. All right, let's head on to the next goal of the match. Wait, is it? Should be somewhere here. Not here, but this. Woo, so close. All right, so this one for me is really really funny. So right, he's in front of the defender. He's in front of the defender. He's also in front of the defender. And here, this goal is clearly showing the importance of having cover for the defense. It's either you have someone to cover you or you take matters into your own hands. So what he does here, as this ball is being played, right? Boom, he follows him. But at this point here, he gets stuck because he gets the ball and then he's out of position. And then if we play it further, I'm assuming this is his midfielder. So what happens is the both of them just confuse each other because no one wants to pressure the ball and they have time to pressure the ball. Remember, he was standing here and now he's here. So it's one of those rule of thumbs that I have. Like if you're out of position and you know that you're not going to be able to get back, just make an attempt to play the ball. He can get past you, he can do whatever, but you make that attempt to make it harder for him to play that pass or to progress forward. What you don't do is stand in the middle and already there's space here and you give him more space to think and for him to play that pass, which will cause much more problems for the defense and the team, of course. And then look at this here. Oh, sorry. This two in particular. He's not the gap is the gap. Like there's too much separation. I understand. Okay, it's either he drops deeper or he maybe steps up just to get contact on him because it's so easy for a striker just to run past the defender. They just need a bit of space and then they are gone. So none of them decided to pressure him. They gave him all the time in the world. One ball. And remember when we assumed he was marking, the space was just too much. It was either he dropped back, so he gave himself time to recover, or he goes, touch tight. He did neither. And that's a lovely finish. It really is. Goes around the keeper and scores. That is a lovely finish. Because here, any one of them, so it's either he can rush back and go and cover the spaces occupied, and then as he's doing that, he goes to pressure the ball. Or he goes to pressure the ball and then he's there as a cover. But unfortunately, none of that happens. They give him enough space to do whatever he wants. He runs past the defender. The defender really should do better. He should be reading that. But this is excellent. Across past the keeper, boom. That's a proper striker, yeah. All right, let's go to the next goal somewhere here. As you can see, this is a 3v2. He is alone. Everything seems to be all right, right? 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 All right, so he has the ball. He takes his time. This is a good run from him. He went there, and then now he's behind the defender, so you can't really see him. We'll play it back a bit so that we do get that run. It's a simple run because he's here, right? He makes it seem as if he's going to receive, then runs behind the defender. So not only does he create movement and an angle for his teammate to pass to, he also confuses the defender. And then we play it forward. He has it, he has it. And then this is, I wouldn't want to say bad defending, but it's a good burst of space. It's a good burst of pace. Like he's really quick. Boom. And then he utilizes the whole of the line. And as the cross is coming in, I'm sure you already know, two people unmarked in the box. And then if you look at it, they definitely have the numbers to deal with it. He's behind. He can shout for these two. Yeah, I don't know. Here in football, they have secret words. They don't use the exact words like go back. They have secret words. Unfortunately, all of them are watching the ball, unaware of what's behind them. He jumps unmarked, and that's a really good header. And he did try to clear it off the line, but unfortunately, that didn't really work out. Because we got boom. By that time, it was too late, and the watch for the referee had already made its noise. You see that? Burst of space. Sometimes you don't always need the flicks and step overs, just like that. Just a random burst of pace is what you need. Look at that. Drags him in, drags him in. I could say the defender does well. I know he gets beaten, but he forces him down the line, so it adds an extra step rather than him going here and either crossing or shooting. He adds that extra step, but the guy uses the whole of the line, and then yeah, he should really be marked better. He really should. Let's head on to the next chance. All right, so the chance that is about to be played is really funny because it's a lot of pinball. He's identified the gap in between here, and he's going to run through it. I do believe he can do a better job at anticipating, because if he gets the ball, it's not much of a problem. He can't really score from there. And then what you might as well do is look to close off the pass and hope your teammates will be able to deal with the person that's retrieving the ball, right? And then look at what he does as the pass is about to get played. He stops, he turns, and then those extra motions make him slow because I'm sure they've not. I'm sure you've not. These guys are quick. The Gambia players are quick. So the passes it to him. Boom. He's looking behind instead of running forward and getting that extra few yards so that he can be able to deal with whatever happens. Boys played, as we have said, the guy is quick. Goalkeeper does the right thing because he avoids that one-on-one situation whereby he's closer to the goal. He runs out, forces him wide. That's the right thing here. And then, fortunately enough, there's someone in front here. He's the one that ends up hitting the ball away. Excellent. Boom. And then this is just pinball. Goes out again. Boom. Man on the line. Always need to have a man on the line. One more for the man on the line. A bit further. Look at this. And then it goes boom. You. Excellent. 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 Man on the line. Always important. And then once again, another one. Boom. And finally, the keeper. So that was a bit of pinball that I wanted to highlight. Let's head on to the next goal. All right, so yeah, deflect. Not yeah, the keeper saves it, bounces out, whatever, and then now it heads back, right? So uh, let's keep. And then one thing I like about Aubamayeng is the movement because look at where he's placed himself. Who is most likely to mark Aubamayeng? No one, because I'm sure, as we can tell, everyone's attention. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong one. Everyone's attention is here. This is where everyone's attention is. Everyone is looking there. So, but Aubamayeng places himself in the best situation. And then, if you're going to allow someone all this space, especially in these type of moments of the game, you better make sure there's enough people to deal with it. He gets the ball, has enough time to. Those two, one of them, any one of them could have pressured because he has time to immediately. He takes his first touch. They should have been rushing, but instead they stand and assuming one person will go. This is where, if possible, both go, but you just don't give him that space. Either one could have gone. Instead, they stand still, hold their hands behind the back, hoping that they will, block it. Aubamayeng, as we mentioned, he's behind everyone. No one's paying attention to him. Oh, sorry, that wasn't Aubamayeng. That was someone else completely different. Oh my goodness. All right, so this is Aubamayeng. The person in front is not really marking him, and the person up behind Aubamayeng isn't really doing that much. And as the ball comes in, look at that. He's gone past both of them, and we all know Aubamayeng is going to slot it. And he goes to get the ball that was already there. No need to fight with the goalkeeper for another ball. All right, let's get on to that. I mean, you do not give Aubamayeng that much space. You don't. One of the best strikers in Africa. Once again, another long ball. He should be pressuring. He really should. He's covering him. He's covering him. At that point, it's too far and someone else can cover him. But he should really put some pressure. If you're this close, you might as well do something. Boom. One long ball. Now, this is one of the funny. I think he should have let that go. So he jumps, right? Because if you look at this, I don't think Aubamayeng is getting to that, and there's a person in front of him to cover. Because what he does do, because he could have headed it to him, could have headed it outside, could have even taken a risky header to the goalkeeper. But instead, do you know why he heads it? Back into the danger zone. And then at this point, he's in no man's land. And this is where you have to make that decisive decision. You don't have time to think. It's either you decide to go and pressure the ball or you go behind. Oh, sorry, I keep on confusing him for Aubamayeng. Aubamayeng is here. So the person defending headed it back to the attacker. Like I was saying, this is where you sorry, let me draw a better one. This is where you have to make that split decision. Do you decide to risk it and go there, or do you just start tracking back, so that you'll be able to catch up with Aubamayeng that has most likely identified the space? This is where those quick decisions have to be made. And unfortunately, he does neither. Boys play to Aubamayeng, traps it, boom. Did you see how quick he got his shot out? This is a lovely ball. Boom. Because it's Aubamayeng. And 4 goals. I would also be kicking the corner flag if I got 4 goals, right? All right, last one. This is the red card challenge. And it's funny how this starts. Okay, somewhere here, right? So, okay, let's play it back. I'll draw a box so that I show you where the offense happens. Somewhere here, he falls down, but he definitely takes a kick at his opponent. Yeah, he trips the opponent and then pretends like nothing's happened. And then here, he gets very aggressive. And then Aubamayeng here, he's backing up his opponent, but he does a little too much here. He pushes him. I think he knew. He knew that's why he was walking away. He knew that he was going to get a yellow card. A bit unnecessary, and I think it's a bit harsh. He just pushed him. It's one of those. The ref should have just let it go. He really should have, but yeah, the ref should have let it go. But Aubamayeng also knew. Second yellow. Yeah, so Aubamayeng scored 4 goals and got sent off. That's something you expect to hear from Darwin Nunes, but that's why we love this game. That's why we really do love this game. Otherwise, that's been my match analysis for Gambia versus Gabon. This has been a classic. This has been a classic. Aubamayeng, one of the best, still playing for his nation, Gabon. That was a masterclass. That was a masterclass. Otherwise, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next match analysis.